Are you serious? You brought crack to my house? What's up, guys, and welcome back to SoberTube. Today's episode is gonna be about why did I ever pick up drugs in the first place? Drugs is something that's a lot of people experiment with in early life. You know, the first time I ever picked up weed was I was in 8th grade going into 9th. And I remember smoking it the first time, getting paranoid, uncomfortable, and hungry. And I remember going to 7-Eleven and walking in and being like, I need one of each. I need every single thing that you sell. I want to eat it right now. I remember eating too much food, getting sick, and being like, let's do this again. I remember the first time I did cocaine, I was just curious. I remember thinking, wow, what is this going to do? Am I going to see weird things? Am I going to hallucinate? I remember doing coke, sniffing it, and being like, this stuff doesn't work. You have any more? This stuff doesn't work. You have any more? This stuff doesn't work. You have any more? I need more. I need more. It doesn't even work. You got any more? I remember being completely high in cocaine, acting like a complete lunatic, like I had just been fast-forwarded and sped up in life. I looked like a time lapse, and not thinking that it even worked and really wanting to get more. I remember at the end of the night having a hangover, not being able to sleep, having suicidal thoughts, and being like, that was the worst drug I ever took. I really hope that I can have some more. I remember the first time that I took pills, it was just easy. Take 1 as recommended. I'm going to take 5 as not recommended. If 1 feels good, 5 must feel better. And what I was really searching for was, I was always in pain, uncomfortable, and hurting as a kid. And I remember that any type of drug, any type of alcohol, anything that I took was able to numb that feeling temporarily. And that's all I ever wanted to do. I just always wanted to not be in pain. I always wanted to be a little bit more comfortable. So the real crazy thing is how do you smoke crack? How do you do heroin? How did that end up in my life? I always prided myself on being a person that was like, I will do anything, but I will never smoke crack, and I will never shoot heroin, and I'll never touch a needle. And if you have ever done that before, you're just like me. And if you never have, I know you're saying, oh, I would never do that. Well, guess what? I'm just like you. I'm the guy that said, I will never do it. But I was in the grips of my addiction, and I was filled with so much pain and so much hurt and so much, oh, I just don't want to be myself. Life hurts so much. I remember this girl brought heroin into my house, and I said, I'm not doing that. What, are you kidding me? I will never do heroin. I will never touch a needle. And when I saw her shoot it up, fall on the floor, and just fall out, fall asleep, and not feel like herself and disappear, I remember being like, well, maybe I could just try this once. Kind of the way a normal person looks at a roller coaster. They go, God, that looks really scary, but you know what? Maybe I'll just, you know, I'll go on 1 roller coaster. I'll give it a shot. The same type of person that goes skydiving. It looks intimidating and scary, but you know what? I'll just try it. I'm going to go skydiving, whatever. And that's how I felt about heroin. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want anybody to know about it, but I knew that it looked like it would take away every emotion and feeling that I had inside. So when that girl shot some in my house and passed out, I didn't think to myself, whoa, I should call an ambulance. I thought to myself, I want to be just like that. I want to feel nothing. I want to sleep as long as possible. So I remember sniffing it and being like, it's pretty good. Feels like a bunch of pills. And then I remember shooting it. Shooting it really looked to be like that was the ticket to numbness. That was the ticket to I can't feel what I feel. And I shot it and boom, addicted. Just like the first time I ate cotton candy. I was like, wow, this is good. You have some that I can eat forever? I remember the first time I had chocolate milk. It was, this tastes good, I gotta drink it all at once. And that was the same thing with heroin. It's, how much can I have? How much can I afford? I need to have as much of this as possible, because this feeling that I feel, I need to feel it permanently. And the difference between addicts and non-addicts is, a non-addict can do a little bit of anything and say, oh, that felt good, I'll do some next week. And a guy like me, I need to feel like that 24/7, 7 days a week, every single minute. I can't see anything, but I want to feel like this. This is all I care about. Tunnel vision, get me to feel like this. I cannot stop, and I can't see anybody else but this. And heroin took me to the next level. That is something that I don't believe anybody can do successfully. You might be able to smoke a little bit of weed successfully. You might be able to do a little bit of cocaine if you're a weirdo successfully. I don't know why you would want to do that, but heroin, I don't see it possible. And I remember the same girl that brought heroin to my house 2 weeks later brought me crack. And I remember going, "Are you serious? You brought crack to my house? And then she looked like she was having a really good time. I saw her smoking crack like most people would see most people skateboarding or being really good at a sport or doing cartwheels or backflips. I was like, how do you feel like that? That's how I want to feel, but I don't want to smoke crack. So listen, I'll just do it once. I just want to know what it feels like. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I am in serious trouble. And heroin and crack took me from semi-functional to completely dysfunctional. These two drugs took me from I can kind of manage this to I am totally homeless, to I am almost paying my rent, to not paying rent, to my car payment is 2 months late, to the car is getting repoed, to can I borrow money, to I'm gonna steal money. And that's the progression, man. It goes from this is fun with problems, to wow, my addiction is just problems. I was too experimental. I tried anything once and I prided myself on it. I'll go on the biggest roller coaster, I'll shoot heroin, I'll smoke crack, I'll have weird sex. Every single thing possible I wanted to try. And somehow, I don't know how, I never got a disease or anything medical. You know, the worst thing that happened to me is I got arrested a couple times for smoking weed in my car and weird, silly little things, trespassing, littering, loitering. No one on earth should ever put anything in a needle and stick it in their arm. We are not doctors. No one on earth should ever smoke something called crack, named after your butt, and put it in your mouth and smoke it. No one should ever strip off all of their clothes, imagine bugs are in their arm and in their mouth, and pick it out with needles because they are in psychosis. You know, addiction took me from good times to bad times really fast. And the amount of people that I hurt during my addiction is pages long of lists of people that, you know, I'm still making amends with. I thank God every single day for the program of recovery, and all I could do is hope, pray, and provide evidence that you guys are able to seek recovery. If you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, there is hope. It feels hopeless, it feels totally lonely, and it feels like you're alone, but you are not. If people like me can recover, then people like you can recover. There is no difference. You were not worse than me, and I was not worse than you. And whether it was alcohol abuse, cocaine abuse, pill abuse, or if you just smoke weed every single day and you see that your life is declining, no matter what it is, as long as it is addiction, I believe and I know for a fact that you can recover. So get involved in your recovery. My name is Brian. Thank you for coming to SoberTube. Please like and subscribe to this channel to continue to receive good information about the recovery from drug abuse and addiction. Thanks for coming.